Assalamualaikum and greetings. This is Averroes and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I've invited a very special guest and he comes by the name of Mr. Zubli Quzairyl. Mr. Zubli to me is a brilliant mooter and he has inspired many students out there to participate and engage in mooting, including myself. Therefore, in this video, Mr. Zubli will be sharing his tips and advice on how to become an exceptional and an exemplary mooter. Therefore, I'll give the microphone to Mr. Zubli. You may take the floor.
So, Assalamualaikum. My name is Zubli Quzairyl bin Zubli. So, firstly, allow me to introduce myself. I'm a law student at Faculty of Law UiTM. And currently I'm in semester 4 or part 4 and going into third year of law school. Okay. So other than that, I am a junior mooter. I have participated in 2 mooting competition, which is SAMCO which is NAMCO in 2021 and SAMCO in 2022. Okay, so from my own experience, I have 5 tips to share with you today. So firstly being to speak slowly and clearly. Secondly, to think before you talk. Thirdly, to establish the law. Fourthly, to master your facts. And lastly, to have a good flow. So for my first point, which is to speak slowly and clearly. So it is good for a mooter to be composed or to be relaxed, in simple terms, to relax and be chill. Because if you are rushing in submitting your case, you would be seen, you will not be seen as a good mooter. So you have to be composed at all times, at all material times, understand the case and explain the case clearly and slowly. Not that, you have to have a good pace. So not too slow, as if you are speaking to an elderly. It is to have a good pace, which is a slow pace. So not too fast and not too slow. Speak properly and try to persuade the court in your favor. And make sure to pronounce your words words by words. So in that sense, you are being clear to the judge of what you are trying to say. Secondly is to think before you talk. So in mooting competition, the judge will ask you a lot of questions. Well, it depends on the judge, but usually they will have 1 or 2 questions prepared for you to answer. So in that case, when the judge asks you a question, it is for you to listen carefully. Try to understand the question first before you answer it. Again, it is not a competition of who can answer the question fastly. It is about to answer the question correctly or to answer the question accordingly. So take some time, think about the question, and then answer when you are ready. So there are times when I ask the judge to take some moment, whether to ask my solicitor or to think about the question, and it is okay and it is perfectly fine. You can do that. You can ask the judge to have a moment to think about the question, but don't take too much time because you need to submit your case at the same time. Next, to establish the law. So in most mooting cases, you will deal with a lot of exception. So don't jump right into the exception. You have to first establish the law or establish the general principle first, and then move on to the exception. So in short, establish the general principle first before you move on to the exception. Okay, next, to master your facts. It is common for law students to be somewhat well versed in the law. You understand the law very much because you have done your research for months. But at the end of the day, it is not all about the law. So don't be too rigid with the law. So sometimes, not sometimes, at all times, you have to master your facts, because the facts is what will help you in the application. So the application is the most important part. So try your best to master your facts. Understand from the first word until the end of the mood problem or your facts of the case. Try your best to master it, okay, to understand it. And it is important for you to infer facts from the case. It is okay to infer facts. So based on A and B, I inferred C. That is okay. But it is not okay for you to create new facts. Don't create new facts. You have to keep your submission or keep your argument based on the facts given by the organizer in the competition. And lastly is to have a good flow. So as for me, I use the 3 tells, which is to tell them what you will tell, and then tell them, and then tell them what you have told. So for example, if you have 2 points, A and B, so tell them what you will tell. So for example, I have 2 points to be raised in this case, A and B, and then tell the court what is A and what is B. So elaborate what is A, and then elaborate what is B, and then lastly, to conclude your argument or to conclude your case, reiterate your position by telling again your points, which is A and B. So at the end of your submission, tell the court that my first point is A, my second point is B, and because of this reason, you urge the court to decide in your favor. So I think that is all from me. So thank you again for inviting me to give some tips to mooters and students out there. Hope it will be useful to you in your mooting career. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zubli. I find these tips and advice to be very insightful, and which I could adopt into my mooting practice. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not forget to follow Mr. Zubli on his Instagram and subscribe to his YouTube channel as well. Till then, we'll meet again in future videos. Goodbye.